why do you collect items from the civil rights movement? Because I know you do that because you're my grandpa. So.
Okay. I've been doing that for a long time. And I put on presentations in different communities, churches, colleges, and I talk about the civil rights movement. I have quite a bit of memorabilia, but one of my pride and joys is this book collection, which I collect books too, but I got all the books signed that everyone in Martin Luther King's family, including Martin Luther King, which is a rarity, his sister, which I contacted and talked to her on the phone, and his kids, anyone that wrote a book, I've got their books signed. I've also met a lot of people that are involved with the civil rights movement, which kind of motivates me to stay involved in things like Dr. King's son, the third, and Joseph Lowery. He talked at Obama's inauguration. And I go hear these guys speak, and if I get a chance, I try to get them off to the side to talk to them.
Yeah.
Just excites me just to be around people that are trying to do things or have in the past. But it just gives me a part of history, and I feel like by having it, I'm part of it somehow.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you feel is your biggest accomplishment yet along your journey?
Well, kids, you know, and grandkids, which I got 20 grandkids and 4 great-grandkids. Besides that, on the civil rights thing and other things, teaching has been good for me. But I think the one highlight of my life was helping Obama get elected. And I feel the first black president, and I think him being there motivates a lot of blacks and minorities just to know that they can go out with education and be able to obtain things. So I worked on his campaign. I'm talking walking, knocking on doors, phone calls, setting up tables, whatever it took to help get him there. And I've got several pictures with me and him, which I pride too.
I actually have a couple of you two together at my house. And I also worked for the campaign, so I know a little bit of what it's like. Yeah. Well, knocking on doors and getting the doors slammed in your face.
It does happen.
Yeah.
You got to keep on pushing.
Definitely. So what is the most important thing that you have seen change over the past 20 years? I would guess maybe the Obama election, but is there anything else you want to add to that?
Well, like schooling is more offered. There is better employment, more opportunities for minorities than it ever was. But I feel that there's still work to do. But I think if you look around, you see on TV sometimes, you see blacks in different organizations, ahead of different organizations, even the Republican Party, you know, has a black person in charge. So in that way, I see a lot of improvement. But I also see other things going on where there's still discrimination that goes on. It might not be as broad and out in the open as much as it was, like the Klan working. But you can see the racial stuff, even in Obama's stuff, when you see the signs some of the people have and remarks that they say. Even some of the remarks I got when you say knocking on doors.
Yeah, I got a few bad ones.
So there's still some change to come, but I think we're going in the right direction. Just, as long as we keep working and educating ourselves and being aware of things, I think it'll be a better world.
I agree. Do you have any stories or other experiences that would help others visualize your experiences in Iowa, specifically throughout the years?
Well, let's see. I've been a fireman here in Keokuk. That was an experience. They hadn't actually had a black fireman there. They did have a guy there, he was mixed, but that was an experience. And it took time for them to get used to each other. I think it's a close-knit thing in the fire department. But me being black, I won some over and some of them I didn't, but right. That was an experience for me. In a small town coming from a big city, in most cases we didn't, most of the places we live are big cities. That in itself was a change. I remember the freedom to walk around in Keokuk down the streets at night, where in the city you had to be fearful of gangs or people you didn't know, or being hurt or robbed. where that's less in a small town. So I thought it was a good place to have kids, and I always felt that I could go back and visit the bigger cities with y'all. But overall, I think my life in Iowa has been good. I still see, like I said, I still see discrimination. Sometimes it can be even an eatery, you know, where you eat at, where you're looked on or not served. But I think it's been a good experience. It's been a learning experience, and I call Keokuk, Iowa home. So I think that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that works. What advice do you have for those people, young ones, who are watching this interview?
Stay motivated.
Right there.
Stay motivated. Get as much education as you can. Stay off of drugs and alcohol. I've been a drug counselor for 18 years, and I've seen the effect it's had on families and kids. And I don't think people realize how fast it can catch up to you, where you become an addict and you lose control of your life. Like I said, get as much education you can. Try to treat people fairly, and enjoy life as much as you can, because you only get one run at it.
Yeah.
Now that I'm 60, I kind of look back and wish I'd have did things a little different, but it's all about the experience, and it's one that you should enjoy.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kyra.